Welcome back to the Driveway Engineer, everybody. I'm JR. Today we've torn the 4runner apart to get to the bottom of why this OM617 is not pumping any oil. So let's dig into it and I'll share with you guys what I found. So first up, you can see that I pulled the diff, and it turns out I didn't have to do that because I was trying to pull the upper pan. And I didn't have to do that. Thanks to a helpful link that a commenter left, I figured out that I was able to actually pull the pump and the gear with the upper pan in place. Once I had that off, I just stuck the bolt in the pump. I stuck the pump in a bucket of oil and I spun it with my impact. And you can see here that it readily, easily, quickly pumped oil without a problem. To make super sure, I went back and blew some brake cleaner through the block line. You can see it's flowing out readily again, same as it was before. So at this point, this was particularly frustrating for me. The design of the pump's relatively simple. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a gear, an external gear type pump, like I said in the last video. And you see it easily pumps oil. You don't have to do any tricks or anything like that. One of the things that I noticed when I took it out, though, was numbers on this gear here. And I marked the gear when I took it out, so I had this side to the front without words. In my experience in automotive engineering, years of just working on cars and years of being an engineer, if there's words, they're typically supposed to face you. I've not encountered a situation where that was not the case. So I thought that maybe I had this gear on backwards, and that's what I went with for a while. But I did order another pump, and I had that en route. So I just waited for that to show up because I didn't know what else to do at this point. So I was pretty surprised when the pump got here and it was put together the exact same way with the words facing in and the deeper part of the gear to the outside. Although I could have solved this mystery for myself had I bothered to measure it, like I'll show you guys in the next clip here. But the only significant thing that I can find different between the two of them was the bolt. And obviously I used some random bolt I picked up off the bench. The bolt that came in the new pump was longer and the washer was thicker, as you can see here. Alright, so updates. We're pumping oil. As you guys saw, I tore it apart, figured it out. Moving on. So one of the things that I'd postulated, this is the original gear, and see it's got this white paint mark. I marked it with a paint marker because it was facing, this was facing out, and typically when there's words they go towards you. So I thought that I'd put it on backwards, but this is a new pump. See, it's not modified. And it drops on this way. It won't go this way. And that's because that's the direction of the taper. So it does go the way that I had it. But what I noticed, so that's about 620. I'm not measuring that very well. But the difference in the taper is enough that you can see it drastically. So back side, 680. Front of the snout, I'm getting 640 there, but you get the idea. Back of the snout, 795. So what I did notice, and I'll insert a picture here, is that this is the bolt that was in there and it's way shallower. Also, I think it wasn't tight enough either, but it's not really deep enough to engage the threads. I don't think that the threads were engaged, or I didn't have it tight enough, or whatever. When I drop this on here, this one, the original one, it stands about 70 thou proud of that pump drive, and the other one was like 90. So I put the other one on there with the other bolt. I put green Loctite, which is meant for slip fit things like this. I let it sit overnight, put it all together, and as you see, it pumps easily, readily. no scuba gear, nothing crazy needed. It just works. So where that leaves me with all of this is I still have to get a turbo drain, which that's AN12 stuff, but I've tried literally every combination of angles, straight, 45, 90, nothing can make the bend tight enough from the drain on the turbo to there, so I'm just going to put a hose over it. I got some 1-inch hose. I'm going to put a hose over it. That's going to be that. On this side, all I have to do, I've decided for the short term, I'm not going to use an oil cooler. The factory one had one. I'm not going to use it. Maybe I'll change my mind later, maybe not. We'll see. But for right now, I'm not going to use it. So all I have to plumb on that plate is the out and the in, which goes to this oil filter relocator. And I don't know how, it comes with like 3 self-tapping screws, and I have no idea how you're supposed to get a drill in here. So I made this little plate. I'm going to bolt it to the plate. I'm going to weld the plate to the frame, and then I have the nuts. I can take it off if I want to. I doubt I ever will. This is meant to use a Cummins filter, and this is the biggest filter I could find. It's an EABP 110. It's really comically oversized. I might go down to a 90 because it's quite a bit smaller. This hangs down below the frame rail, and I'm not super happy about it, but it's also 80,000 mile oil change intervals, so I am super happy about that. So I'm gonna weld this to the frame. I'm going to use one of these other ports for an oil pressure gauge. We'll put the filter on it, we'll run the lines, and once I have the drain, which should be here this week, it'll be ready to start for real. You see I have the serpentine mocked up there. I'm not gonna go into that today. But yeah, I mean, progress, we're back on track, basically. We're a week behind, but back on track. So if you're ever swapping a Mercedes diesel and you mess with the oil pump gear for some reason, make sure that you get it all the way on the taper. I guess that's the lesson. So short little update video, nothing really earth-shattering. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you next time on The Driveway Engineer.